one time we had the AWA belts and we had the Tennessee belts. What was their thing called? CWA, I don't know what the heck the company's called, but anyway, we had both belts. And then then Vern wanted us up there a little more often since we had his belts, which is, where it came around to wanting another contract thing where in time we got to made a call to Terry Garvin again. And, Terry was like, oh, yeah, okay, we got you. Another starting date.
So it's like the same thing all over again.
Yeah. But this time we came in there and we did like we wanted, and we still made an enemy. We did like the last time we were told, mingle, socialize, don't keep yourself. Well, this time when we came, we said, hell no, we'll keep it to ourselves. Damn it, Andre didn't hate us for that because he thought we were assholes because once Andre made a formed opinion about somebody, that was it. You couldn't even change it. And so when we came in that next time, we didn't go nowhere, said that with nobody. I think the big things we probably should at least went around and shook everybody's hand, like it's tradition in the business. But we were just so scared and didn't know if people hated us or whatever. The boys hated us, so we just kept to ourselves. And Andre saw that, and Andre, he right off the bat, he's hated us. So we still can, but I mean, yeah, but it went smooth from there on, other than Andre.
Was there any talk before we went back to WWF about NWA or at the time? Or
no, we nothing ever came up with NWA until we were at WWF for a while. And but you mentioned earlier, that Shawn had talked about that on his interview here, and he was pretty much accurate except for just a couple of details I'm gonna hit on here in a minute. Okay. But anyway, those the only time we actually had any kind of deals with NWA was once we'd already been in WWF a while. Before that, for whatever reasons, it never came around. We never called nobody there showed interest to us. It just was never a thing.
Okay. Why did you end up changing the Midnight Rockers, just the Rockers?
Well, I think the copyright, Vern had it. I remember we went into, and Vince, wanted to, he said, what do you guys, what's your name? We can't use Midnight Rockers. What kind of name? So let's give us a night to think of something. Shawn, I'll come up with something. We'll come up with something tomorrow because you guys, I got to put you on the TV and I need a name for you. And man, Shawn and I racked our brains, man. We were coming up with a billion different names, and we had a list. Each of us had, like, let's write down as many as you can think of and switch and see how many of yours I like and mine yours like. And we were just like, oh, this is close. We couldn't really, we were just sort of like, not quite. It wasn't that one that just, So the next day, we sat with Vince and he was like, did you come up with anything? Well, we got this list here, we got it narrowed to, And so he says, well, what is it? He says, what do the guys call you? We're like, what do you mean, what do they call us? So when the guys want you, if they're looking for you or something, what do they call you? What's their nickname? So they just call and say, hey, where's the Rockers? He goes, that's your name, the Rockers. And we're like, we racked our brain, and he comes up with it like that, and that was it. That was the end of it. Just like that.
Were there any promises of a push, or did Vince give you an idea of what his plans were for you?
No, we had plans. We had our own ideas, but no, I don't think he ever, or anyone ever says, hey, this is what we're going to do with you. Whether or not, I don't even know if they do that with back then, if they did that with anybody. They just kind of see how things materialized. But I mean, no, we weren't ever told. We were just glad to be there. But once we were, just like anything else, once you reach a level for a little bit, that's fun. Then now you want to go up a little higher. And we started getting over there. I mean, the style we had, we actually increased the innovation, from AWA days. And I think we were getting better. I mean, now we're 2.5 years in the business, 3 years in the business, whatever it was, and we got a little more experience, and we're understanding psychology a little better. So we're starting to click. We're starting to excel. And again, working with something like Tele Dawn was one of the teams we got to work with right away. And the progression, it was skyrocketed working with them. And then we were starting to. Then we started throwing out that, hey, we're gonna get a title match or something. We're just always gonna go around just being a middle card, middle match, and generic matches doesn't, has not much meaning to it. Even though the Tully Arn things were exciting. I mean, they had us doing like brawls back to the dress, never a pinfall, just brawl back to the dressing room and leave it open to do whatever with. But then Tully and Arn left. They cut that one short because they took off, went back to NWA. I think the Rougeau brothers were the next ones they stuck us with, and they actually gave us an angle. I mean, actually a something. I mean, because up to that point, there was really nothing with this one.
Why do you think they didn't put you in any angles or anything? Do you think that was a size thing with Vince?
I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know if they wanted to make sure how we were gonna, tour within the company, and would see like, okay, one time they came here and made it one day. Let's wait and see how they're going to be for about 6 months before we do something. It could have been, something to that, or they could have been. I mean, I heard a lot of people ask the question like, was it the size? Because we were the smallest guys there, and a lot of the guys, from what I understand, I just now found this out recently. a lot of the guys didn't want to do jobs for us because of our size. I think the only person that I actually know, I say person, team, I won't say what individual, but I think Demolition was one. It was, and I could see their point of, they were a big, burly thing, but I mean, it's a word. I mean, we were outquicking the size and power. I mean, it wasn't a shoot. But, and then I think the Hart Foundation also at first didn't want to, for whatever reasons, but then they went ahead and agreed to, which I don't think Demolition ever did agree to. I don't think we'd ever, if it, at best, it was DQs with them.
Were you guys ever told to slow down or not do as much in the matches or stop the innovation, anything like that?
I don't remember. Like I said, for the most part, guys always liked working with us. I mean, they always felt like it was, they knew it was going to be easy. They weren't going to get hurt. They knew the match was going to be good. Their only thing was they were going to blow up. I mean, because our pace was so fast, but they would take that over working with some guys that were going to pound them or just have horrible matches. We for the most part, everybody we worked with, man, I think both sides enjoyed it. We loved working with the Rougeaus. Of course, the Brain Busters. Powers of Pain, everybody thought was going to be a problem because
that was Warlord and Barbarian.
Yeah. And they were monsters. I mean, they were just huge. But see, they were both super nice guys. They were both, hey, whatever you guys want to do, and we put something together. That was some of the best matches. I mean, we never would have thought it looking at it, those guys and us, but we put together something that we just flowed perfect. It made sense. Everything we did was a combination thing to one of those guys or something where they would, end up nailing their own selves, and we work off that. But we even with them, we even had good matches with Demolition, even though of all the matches we had, for some reason those were a little choppy. And I don't know the reason. They never flowed like the rest of them.